Started. All right, gentlemen, we are back for another session of Monster Monday, the Cryptic Cabal's debut in Truth to the World, as it is. Last time we left off, you lot spent your time kind of looking around town, learning, well, to be honest, not much. If I remember right, most of the last session was Tun's kind of walking around town while Gygax and Melvin went to sleep, and Dutes, I think it was the two of you, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I went with what was it? Ultimus. I went with Ultimus down, killed some more goblins and some tunnel or whatever, made some money out off of it.
That was it. Yes, with the free time. I'm remembering. Yes. As we continue, yeah, that's right. Because we had to end session about I think 2 hours in. That's why. Okay, I'm sitting here. I'm like, I feel like we didn't come to the ending on my notes here. Okay. All right. So yeah, as we the party had come back, rejoining together with Tun spending some free time with Ultimus, diving and delving through the deep tunnels, chewing out the goblins. I believe the rest of the party at the time was relaxing and taking a long rest after a full night of continuous combat and no rest whatsoever.
Especially when they were going in, I was waking up and leaving.
Yeah. I remember as the party came back, they had come back to the mercenaries already beginning to head out, having been given the orders to scout ahead. Though Tun quite slow, was still able to get out ahead of the mercenaries enough in advance to keep a steady pace as the rest of the company seemed to march at a slower pace behind. As you lot had, I believe, if I remember right, managed to find a small burnt-down encampment of with a wooden tower in the center, in which you found a bunch of hobgoblins that each had strange individual single wounds to each of them. With their bronze and copper items all kind of gathered up, well, half of them gathered up. Gygax and I believe it was it Dutes was the one who went up into the tower with you? If I remember correctly.
I think so, yeah.
I know Melvin. That's right. Yes. Yeah. As Gygax and Melvin headed into the tower to investigate, they would find some interesting, interesting chest with a body completely crushed or shoved into it. Though finding little interest in the corpse at the time and wanting to continue their exploration, the two would head upstairs with Melvin exiting out of the tower after realizing the obvious trapped chest with their setup. With a simple pressure plate below them, Gygax would then be left alone to try and manipulate the trap in a way to hopefully disarm it and or manage to get or bypass it. But unfortunately for him, Gygax would find as the building would blow up in a massive inferno and taking the building down, the disarming did not work. As the party would take the rest of the gear that they had gathered, watching the remaining of the fort kind of burn down as the tower went up in embers, the party spent their time, I believe, between sessions burying the armor was what was agreed upon for actions. Let me double check my notes as I'm going through everything here. All right. Actually, I have some notes here that are conflicting. Two party members had so we're actually gonna come back before your actions for this because of this. As you lot kind of come together, standing outside this tower, watching it still burning in an inferno. Gygax coming down the hill with the rest of you as you gather. This sled being set up by Melvin. Tun begins to. I believe you were going to be digging a hole, if I'm checking my notes correctly, right, Tun?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, since we don't have anything to actually do it, I was just going to bury the armor.
Yeah, so Tun starts to dig a hole. Tun, give me a strength check just for that in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gygax, as you kind of gathering some of the chunks of wood from the bits of that have kind of flown out and around you, using a rope to tie it all together, go ahead and give me. Do you have a craft skill for woodworking, by chance?
No.
Okay, then.
Bag making.
Then just give me an intelligence check. Let's say for it. And Tun, what's that strength?
15.
15. All right, yeah. As you start digging out a hole, kind of digging out to be about as deep as you are, as you kind of get to the point where your head's just barely above, the hole digs down about. I believe you are what 3 or 4 feet tall in your stomach.
Say it again.
How tall are you? Again, Tim?
I from like foot to like the top of my shell, I'm 6 feet.
Oh, okay. So yeah, managing to get about 4 feet deep into the dirt, you manage to dig out beneath you a full circle that's about the size of Tun's entire body as Tun kind of pulls himself back out of the hole. 15. Okay. As you're doing this, Tun, Gygax, you start grabbing and pulling rope around together, tying boards together, expanding the bits of wood or upon the bits of wood you have. You manage to tie a loose and rough version of a sled together with a couple of chunks of wood underneath it to allow it to easily roll, as well as a pretty stable platform. It's not pretty, and it won't win any prizes for craftsmanship, but it's functional. As you manage to kind of test it out, guesstimating it to be able to pull somewhere around about 200 to 300 pounds comfortably without breaking.
I'm gonna load some of the armor.
Okay.
No, I mean, should we just leave it buried?
Oh, do we want to bury it or do we want to take it with us?
I mean, it's not like we're gonna be able to sell it over at this town that we're sieging.
True.
We can always come back for it and dig it back up.
How about we take the weapons with us?
Oh yeah, I'm just putting the armor in.
Oh, okay, so then we'll put the weapons on the sled then.
Yeah, we can put the weapons on the sled.
Okay. So I put the weapons on the sled, I take the armor off, and I give the armor to Tun.
Okay. As you kind of drag the armor back over to Tun, handing it as it's tied to a rope to be pulled into the hole, you start loading up these swords and the javelins onto the
However,
the sled.
Tun would like to keep the javelins for his throwing purposes.
Okay. How many of the javelins are you keeping? All of them, or?
Because I mean, I intend on using them, because since I don't have a conventionally ranged option.
No, I'm not saying not to. I'm just asking to make sure.
I would just say, does anyone else want javelins? I mean, I could just carry them on my body.
No, I'm alright. You can take them.
Alright, but I can put the 22 copper long swords on the sled.
Alright. Let me double check something. Just to ensure I'm correct on my numbers here. So these will be 2 pounds a piece. That'll be 64 pounds of javelins for your own notes, as these are medium. Yeah, as you kind of start strapping them onto your sides, Tun, making it so you can easily reach them with your neck, or with your mouth, the rest of you start loading the swords onto the sled, as the armor is slowly buried underneath, or in the Tun-sized hole, only managing to bury the armor that you had managed to gather. The remaining bits of armor above are still seemingly there, as the last of the fires start to kind of kick out as a light rain starts to spattering down. All right. Everyone, give me a spot check, unless you think you would be on the lookout for anything at this point.
15.
15. Okay.
Natural 1 for a 9.
Damn.
I also rolled a 9.
All right. As Melvin and Tun kind of focus in on the task moving about the weapons bearing the armor, setting the swords aside, kind of watching the fire die down as the light rain starts to kind of flow in. Gygax and Doot, as you look about, every once in a while you see under the tree or around near a tree, you see something seems to move and catch your eye for a moment. As you kind of trying to focus in, Gygax, you get a count at first of maybe 2, 3. They look to be pretty brightly armored as something keeps catching the gleam of the light that seems to peer through every once in a while in the clouds. Dudes, as you look about, you roughly count 4 creatures, roughly looking to be humanoid from what you can tell. Maybe about a little taller than you at this point. Generally, it looks like it only sounds like there's 4 of them coming about. As you don't hear any mounts, you don't hear anything else. You do hear the sound of clanging metal, realizing that these people are armed.
Can I do a vibration sense once I see that?
Sure. Give me a search check for it. And what are you trying to get? Just how many feet are coming?
Yeah, just get a vibration sense of how much movement is actually going on from the 2 to 4 that I saw. See if I sense more through the vibration.
You feel roughly 4 sets of feet moving independently, though they seem to be jumping from tree to tree, coming in as they get closer, and they seem to be slowly trying to surround you lot. It's hard to get a rough idea of where they are, as they seem to be very light-footed, but they seem to be staying out of sight. Is the one thing you can definitely tell with the light where their feet are being sensed last.
How far away are they from us?
Roughly from what the 2 of you can tell right now is 30, 35 feet out is the closest one. About a little south from you, which would be not in the direction of the army coming your way.
I psionically speak to everyone in the party. I think there's 4 people moving really fast and quietly in the trees.
All right. I'm gonna look to the nearest mercenary.
They're nowhere near. They're about half a day's march behind you lot.
So, I have an idea. So there's trees all around us, yeah?
Correct.
From where we currently are?
Yeah, they're loosely scattered about, but they're close-knit enough that you could easily dive between them within a few seconds of movement.
Gotcha. And if I remember correctly, we are currently in the burning remains of someplace?
Yeah, the burning remains of a fort of hobgoblins.
Can I, chuck a burning piece of wood into, the treetops?
Sure! Yeah, as you go marching up towards one of the... I will say, it is starting to sprinkle lightly, so it is starting to rain lightly for your own notes here, as the fire is starting to die down a little bit. But yeah,
if there's enough fuel, that sprinkle won't stop anything.
If you grab a piece of wood that kind of flew down during the initial explosion that's got still some light embers going on it, that's kind of landed near you, still out of the ray of the rain, as you kind of lean up towards the tree, that with some of the low-hanging branches, you watch as it starts to slightly... At first, it doesn't seem to do anything. It nips at the leaf and then immediately catches a blaze and the tree starts to light. I will note, this forest is also partially has the mercenary army coming from the east that will be within this forest, that you are now basically cutting off their walkway with a fire going to the west.
I mean, if it's just gonna stay sprinkling, then it might be a problem. But I expect the rain to thicken up. I'm just trying to get these potential assassins and ne'er-do-wells out of the trees.
Okay. Yeah, you watch as the tree starts to take a blaze. Melvin, is there anything you'd like to do before these creatures or these beings seem to get any closer?
I forgot to have you add this when my power went out last week, but I do have a new spell.
Okay. That's fun. Yeah, you got the list for your own self.
So, kind of across from us, where kind of out in the open, where I feel like they would be able to see, I would like to cast Minor Image.
Okay.
And the image I would like to present is Tuntun kind of walking across the field, rumbling.
Okay. All right. Is this a will save for them to be able to tell if it's an illusion or not?
Let me see. It says it acts just like silent image, but with a little bit of sound. Saving throw will disbelief if interacted with.
Oh, okay. So they have to actually go and interact with it. Okay. So yeah, as they see, the creature, you with the vibration sense in the search check from earlier, Dutes and Gygax, you sense that the what you assume at this point to be either hobgoblins or some sort of goblinoids coming this direction, or some sort of humanoid-like creatures. You take a minute and you notice the creatures seem to stop for a moment. As the image of Tun Tun starts to kind of march in the same direction as where they seem to be roughly at.
Huh? There's another one of me?
Tun Tun looking up at the tree that's slightly burning and then seeing now a magical-looking version of himself walking about.
Oh my god.
Turns up.
I get it now.
Tun Tun, give me an intelligence check for something real quick. I want to see if you get something.
Alright, an intelligence check of 7.
Tun Tun, you come to the realization. Fire means magic. When you light things on fire, magic happens. You now have a semi-realization thinking that you might be magical.
My god. I'm amazing.
As Tun Tun thinks this in his head, looking at the image of himself with a big smile on his face. Melvin, as you kind of see in the corner of your eyes, the very smiling Tun Tun. From first look, it looks like he's smiling because of the amazing image you made of him.
I silently speak to Tun Tun. Tun Tun, which one are you? What'd you do?
I am all. I am everything.
While these two are likely to be looking back and forth, looking at each other as they kind of watch and pause, Dutes, you just saw Melvin kind of launch off the spell as a secondary Tun Tun started walking through towards the creatures that you'd seen. What are you doing?
So I've traveled with Tun Tun enough to know, or I would hope that I would know, that he has not seen another Zaratun, nor possibly his own reflection.
Well, you know he's seen his reflection because he would have mentioned that, or you guys swam over here. So he's seen his reflection in the ocean before.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I'm not so stupid that I can't recognize a reflection, alright?
I'm gonna try and keep Tun Tun's attention on us moving forward, while keeping an eye on the current location of what I can now assume is hobgoblins.
Okay. All right. Then as does the rest of the party, are you gonna follow as Dutes tries to start getting Tun? Well, how are you getting Tun Tun's attention to start moving out?
I'm going to very gently pat his head.
Alright, as you walk over to him, treating him like he's going to bite you like a snapping turtle, you kind of rub your hand across the very hard metal helmet that he's wearing, that has a small spear kind of jaunting slightly at the top like a unicorn's horn. It feels like cold metal. Tun Tun doesn't really feel your hand and just kind of feels pressure being kind of moved across the top of his head as the helmet's kind of pushed down slightly. But Tun Tun, as you look to the corner of your eye, seeing the person doing this, you see Dutes kind of looking down at you as he does this. I imagine with a kind smile on his face.
Yeah.
Tun Tun will look puzzled, like, what?
Come on. Don't worry about the illusion.
Tun Tun?
Tun Tun's like, why would I worry about it? I did it. I know what I'm fucking doing.
You take a moment, and as you look at this, it's almost as if he's talking to you like you were a pet. as you've seen people on two legs do to these strange, small, four-legged fur creatures that keep like barking for treats, and seem to do like roll over and tricks on command. It's almost strangely similar. Do with that.
Tauntaun may be a little irked, as he's not a dumb animal. Tauntaun is a brilliant strategist who has created magics by lighting things aflame. I do not deserve this treatment.
I read Tauntaun's expressions and I go, dudes, he didn't like the way you treated him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel like you were something less than you are. That's not my intention. Just wanted to get your attention.
Straight. All right, Tauntaun will give a look as if like, all right, where are we going?
We are continuing in this direction.
Tauntaun will move in that direction.
Yeah, as you start heading west, continuing as the fire starts to take a blaze. Melvin and Gygax, are you following after Dudes or?
Yes.
Okay, Melvin.
Yes, and I try to keep the illusion moving.
Okay. Give me a
as far as I can.
Yeah, give me a concentration check and let's see how long this thing will last.
An 11.
As you what level's the spell again? Remind me.
It's level 1.
Level
Or,
1?
No, wait, level 2.
Level 2, okay. As you start to kind of try and focus your mind to continue having the creature move, or the image move, it makes it about another 20 feet before it just kind of stands there and starts looking about as if it looks lost. A few moments go by as you kind of continue, and when you roughly feel you're almost about a half a mile at this point away, you feeling the spell caught off almost immediately. Seems like the creatures don't seem to follow you as you kind of watch the small forest behind you set ablaze, and then the quiet groans and yells in the distance from the mercenary company that's now walking through the burning forest as they're having to put it out with the light rain that's still sprinkling. Somewhere, some paperwork is being filed that Tauntaun is going to be paying the mercenary companies for the buckets of water they're wasting. But as you lot continue on, about another day or another day's journey of marching. Go ahead, Dutes, give me a D100 roll.
Okay. Let's see if there is a D100 on here.
There should be. Not just roll 2 D10s and one's the 10, one's the 6 or the single digit.
Okay, I'll just roll on a 5e because I have a page up.
Works.
42.
42. All right. As you lot continue, kind of marching through, you come across so you're kind of keeping a wide berth of the road on this last day of the journey before you're expecting to reach what should be the city's outer walls. The distant sounds of clashing swords can kind of be heard on the wind. With after getting this close to the city, much of the area is pretty much flat and fields of farms and other such items. As you kind of look around, you see far to the distance in the south what looks to be a massive kick-up of a bunch of dirt and sand as a bunch of what looks to be a massive cloud kind of starts to form. As the sounds of metal clashing on metal kind of echoes from that direction, you begin to hear the sounds. Give me a second. You begin to hear the sounds of growling coming from the fields around you. It sounds like a low, guttural growl as it seems to then turn to a high-pitched, reminding many of you from your travels through the different towns of almost like a street cat, kind of giving a low hissing sound to it.
Tauntaun will let out a deep bellow.
Okay. Give me a intimidation check. For that Tun-Tun, let's see what you got as you bellow out.
22.
Alright, let's see. You know, it's funny, this creature actually has a bonus. You said, what was it, 23 or 22?
22.
As you hear a responded growl or hiss back, and then the growl and roar begins to get louder as 6 of these large lion-looking like creatures kind of begin to stand up, and you see these large male lions with hefty orange manes kind of rough in a pack, as you see 3 of them and 2 females that seem to be slightly smaller, seeming to stand in the back. You're not surrounded, but as you look at these creatures, you're not. As you start to look about, you're not sure how many more could be in the fields waiting. Give me a tremor sense check from Gygax, and Doots, go ahead and give me another search check as well.
Tuntun's never eaten cat before.
10.
All right, 10. Doots, as you look about, you seem to kind of not expecting these dire lions to kind of pop out of the field, being as large as they are, and getting roaring back at Tun-Tun for that matter. Being slightly distracted, you seem to kind of lose yourself in looking around. Gygax, as you look about using your tremor sense with a 24, Jesus Christ, you count 2 full-grown direline males from what you guesstimate in the field, although you see a third. It doesn't take long to realize there's no sense of movement from that creature even when it steps. And it seems the lionesses behind them only seem to number in 2 as well. Though you do sense a bunch of smaller creatures kind of skittering about in the area around them, almost around about 8 or 9 of these smaller creatures.
I sonically blink and say, there's only 2 males and 2 females, really, but there's a lot of little creatures running around as well.
Tuntun thinks that they might be cubs, and as everyone knows, the young ones taste the best.
Yeah.
I eat them too?
I don't know how to respond to that.
Well, you don't have to because you wouldn't have heard it.
It is true that Gygax is, the way the connection works is Gygax hears it, and then you can talk to Gygax directly. He can't transfer the thoughts between 2 people.
Dear God.
I look at Dudes. Can I eat them?
So, you said the other mercenaries are about a half a day's trip behind us, correct?
At this point, you'd probably guess more like a day with the fire. But yeah, roughly.
So there's potentially no backup coming. I would prefer to avoid a fight if I can, but I also know that y'all get antsy. So, you know what?
I will say, you can give me an any of you can give me an appraisal check to see if you can see how these lions might stack up against you lot. Also, or if you have profession mercenary, which I recommend all of you put for now down points, because technically you do have the qualifications for it, and can start putting points into it.
If I could size up the enemy.
Yeah. Go ahead. What was that, Gygax?
Sense motive.
Sure. Go ahead and give me sense motive if you'd like.
17
Got an 11.
appraised.
Thank you for the appraise. 11. 21. Jesus Christ. All right.
And that's with a nat 20 plus my +1.
Let me see. 21, and then Melvin, what'd you get? Again, sorry. Just writing these all down. I think I heard 17. Am I correct on that?
I think so. I'm trying to see where the dice.
Oh, if you're
Are we
using
rolling we're rolling initiative, yeah?
no, this is just a this sense motive, appraise, or profession mercenary to see if these lions, if these dire lions are or what to put them. As Dutes is kind of weighing his options in the background.
Tuntun got a 20 for profession mercenary.
Okay, nice. All right. Between and then Dutes, what was your roll? Sorry, this is my last one.
11.
Thank you. Between Tuntun and Gygax, Gygax, as you sense motive on this creature, you realize this creature doesn't seem to be hostile to you directly. It seems to be, as you notice, its body language seems to be protecting the creatures behind it, and seems to be kind of eyeing them behind it and eyeing you lot. It seems strange that a beast this big would kind of hold back unless it was just trying to protect itself or its young. Is kind of what you gather from this creature and its body language. The secondary dire line, though, does catch your attention to look a little stranger. Something about it seems off, but yet familiar as you look at it. This creature, you get not that it's hostile towards you, but it is definitely seeming to size you up, and looks to be looking at you as if you were a meal. Though, looking at the two, you do notice the marks on their bodies and the scratch marks. It looks like these two dire lands were fighting, not probably moments before you lot came near, by what you can gather.
I relate this to dudes.
Okay. Tuntun, with your profession mercenary, first off, you remember Neff had a quest for an intelligent dire line he was looking for. That you and your party were offered at a certain point. Though, in your defense, you were sleeping and relaxing and enjoying your vacation, as you needed your downtime. It was the party's job to go and look into this, as I had told you. Unfortunately, no one ever found that dire line, or at least the party didn't seem to mention anything of it, as you realize. But as you look at this creature, the first one looks to be normal, but the second, with its darker mane and its strange orange-like colored fur, the creature seems to have strange magical markings on it, and as you catch something, you realize this creature is a magic caster of some sort. Shut up! No, fuck you. It's not true.
Yeah. What? No, the black mane and everything? Like, come on.
No. Shush.
Next thing you know, hyenas are gonna be popping out of the woodwork.
Don't tempt me.
All right. Tuntun is honestly kind of. Normally he would probably look to Deuce in this situation. However, Tuntun is just stanced up, just dead-eyeing the lions, just waiting for the word. There is no looks. He is prepared to fight right now, but he's holding back, just waiting for the word.
No, he does not stop.
Dudes, do you want me to psionically speak to one of them? Or all of them?
If you can, try to speak to and see if which one is capable of intelligence.
I psionically broadcast out in the open. Hello.
You see the one dire line with the black fur seems to recognize when you seem to speak, and seems to like furrow its brow and stop growling. Okay, just looking and eyeing you, Gygax.
What does the other one look like?
The other one looks to be completely confused and trying to eye between the black-maned dire line and the rest of the party. Doesn't seem to have changed to an aggressive stance. In fact, the creature seems to have kind of just started watching at this point.
Tuntun seeing the opposing lions starting to kind of not exactly stand down, but get a little bit more relaxed. Tuntun will also reciprocate.
Okay.
We don't want to fight you. Can we pass?
The black-maned one looks at you and kind of turns its head to the side and looks at you for a moment and kind of... And you just hear a dead, like, as the thought seems to, like, die in its head, the creature seems to try to communicate for a moment, as you can feel the intention, but it doesn't seem to understand how to.
Can you wave at me so we can figure out how to communicate?
You see the dire line with the black mane lift its paw up and then put it down.
Can you give me a thumbs up if we can pass?
I don't know if the line can give you a thumbs up. It does have opposable thumbs.
The creature looks at you with a confused look on its eyes and looks to the rest of the party with a confused look on its eyes.
Tell it to raise its paw if we can pass.
Ooh, can you raise your paw if we can pass? Or hand, or arm, or whatever you call it?
Heads or tails?
Dude, it's your call.
Let's go with heads.
Alright. Don't ignore that. Okay. The creature kind of raises its paw slightly up and looks at you and just kind of puts it back down as it waits sitting there.
Thank you.
And then I look at the other one. Can you understand me?
As you try to speak to the other dire line, it kind of looks at you as it looks still back at the black maned one and looks at you again. The creature looks to be more confused than anything else as it looks between the two groups.
Can any of you speak common?
The black maned one raises its paw up again and puts it back down.
So I tell dudes, the one that just raised his hand, he can speak common.
Sorry, my mic cut out if you were talking to me. Say again.
I tell you that the dark maned one can speak common.
Scar can speak people.
Okay. Well,
Maybe
we
not
did have
speak, but at least Scar can understand.
I will at least like to ask because of that quest, because Neff was looking for one. Ask it if it's willing to travel with us.
I relay the question sonically.
Alright, 1 sec. What's your motive, out of curiosity?
Not to say, like, okay, I want to put it in captivity, but more, I know someone who I think is strong, who is willing to, or may have use of your talent, or may have use of your capabilities.
So in kind terms, you're hoping to bring this beast to voluntarily, but you're willing to put a rope around its neck and tie it if you need to. Okay.
I wouldn't say that. I'm will if it was to voluntarily come, yes. If wishes to stay in the out in the open, potentially dealing with the wilds on its own, then it's fine.
Gygax, give me a bluff check. Let's see what he's got. As you relay this information over, Gygax, the black fur or maned one looks at you and kind of looks over at Doots and then just kind of starts to stand back up on all four legs. Its mane starting to kind of stand up a little bit as well as its back hair, and the creature starts to growl at you, Doots.
I take a deep breath, slowly put up my hands, take a step back. I did not mean to offend. I was just simply asking if you would like to find a greater purpose with life.
The creature seems to roar out as loud as it can, as that seems to echo across the fields. The city in the distance.
Even Tonton's like, am I on the wrong side?
Yeah, Tonton kind of looking between the discussion. The mercenaries hearing this in the distance, the sound of clattering metal starting to pick up far to the distance in the east, coming towards you lot. The Direline kind of seemingly hearing the change in noise seems to get spooked as the group of them turn and start running down, heading south towards the larger battlefield that you had seen earlier. Leaving you.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna regard it with emotion at this point, and just continue walking.
Okay. As you turn, accepting it, and heading on, you lot kind of continue back onto the city. So the rest of the day goes uneventful. The rain kind of picking up, and the heavy mud kind of slopping about. The rest of the mercenary company eventually manages to catch up with you all and make camp as you start to set up siege lines in the late evening under nightfall. Before the end of midnight, Neff calls you lot in to the main hall with the other mercenary captains that have been traveling alongside Neff to give a full breakdown of the day's activities as well as the night's activities. As I assume Gygax turns, walks, leaving you in there, Dutes. Tuntun and Melvin, are you also going to leave Dutes in there to deal with the meeting while you lot kind of go scope out the area and look around?
Yep.
Okay, Tuntun.
I knew it.
I'm going to assume yes, because he walked away. I heard him step away, so...
Yeah, his mom.
Yep, so as the three of them head out of the tent and kind of locating their own tent and then starting to look about the walls themselves, Gygax, Melvin, and Tuntun, when he gets back, can all give me search, appraise, or if you're looking for something else specific about the city, you can send me what you're thinking, and we'll have a roll. Dutes, as you enter into the tent, you see Neff standing there with 4 other mercenary company captains, 2 of which look to be some sort of dragonkin or kobold-like creatures. One looks to be a very large minotaur who looks to be very grumpy, though having a muzzle around his mouth, as you see Ultimus standing behind with a key and laughing. Well, rather giggling slightly. A large table set into the center with a design of the town kind of laid out roughly with as it's drawn mostly of just squares and circles, with the streets kind of lined up and a bunch of little dots for markings of where soldiers and patrols are. Neff sets as Neff kind of has one of his men come over and set a bunch of pieces onto the table. He starts to move them out. Neff, the floor is yours.
Of course. I'm assuming the pieces I'm putting are mostly the each mercenary company where they should be moving.
Oh yeah, basically. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Immediately, I think they would all notice that Neff does not has his own pieces in like the middle of the city, in 3 places. And Neff will start talking about the night mission first after calling Dutes over, because he's going to see his part first.
I'll come to the table.
The other mercenary captain's kind of annoyed, start to head out of the tent, waiting outside, as Ultimus seems to follow after them, mostly harassing and annoying the large minotaur as they head out. Tuntun, go ahead and give me a search, appraise, or profession mercenary check in the background as you and Gygax and Melvin are kind of eyeing up the walls and looking about while you leave Dutes to handle all the actual business stuff that you don't want to listen to.
So it was search...
Search, appraise, or profession mercenary.
Praise?
Or if you... Yes.
Appraisal.
Yeah, appraise.
Oh, appraise. Sorry, I was like...
Yeah.
Praise. While you are so magnificent, you are so great and big, can you let me through?
God damn it. No.
18 for profession mercenary.
I'll give you a +2 on top of that for that. Alright, before Neff gets into it, I will mention, this would be notes to Neff as well, who kind of already learned about a lot of this. Ton, with the profession mercenary. As you look about the walls, you notice a lot of the troops seem to be very lightly armored. Many of them seemingly not wearing any sort of. There's no potions. There's no nothing. These guards look to be up on the walls, completely blind. As you're only maybe half a mile from the city walls right now, they should be able to hear you, but they don't even seem to notice or care. You do hear the occasional snoring and sound kind of coming on the air from up on the walls as you look about, but it looks to be maybe 1-2 men per segment of wall, and given what you've seen with Greg's Maratom's lands and Zebral's burrows, this city should at least have 20-30 guards on one section of wall alone. Also, as you look about, the walls themselves look to be fresh, as in brand new, catching your kind of eye as you look them up and down. Making you realize that these have never been sieged before. These walls have not been tested as of yet. As Melvin and Gygax kind of start searching down up and down the walls, you notice there's only 2 gatehouses, one of which you can already tell has been completely closed off, as there doesn't look to be any guards in the distance even patrolling near it. It doesn't take much to realize that they probably reinforced that gateway completely to be uncrackable at this point, or just not worth the effort. Thus, as you look about, seeing the only one of the gatehouses that is fully heavily guarded, it seems where there'll be the largest concentration of light as well as troops are. Though again, these troops don't seem to be able to see past their own noses as they look out into the fields in front of them. Again, with that, Tun, something kind of queuing in as a last thing is that either these soldiers are idiots and very new to, very inexperienced, or you realize that this must be a trap of some sort. But as you three kind of find yourselves back to your camp and tent, kind of discussing amongst yourselves, Neff, I leave it to you as we go back to you, and Duke's kind of looking over everything.
Okay. How far away did the mercenary captains walk? Are they just outside, or?
They don't seem to be in earshot, as you can hear them talking amongst themselves outside, a few feet outside of the tent.
Okay. Neff will first reach into his pocket and hand something to Doots. It's a potion that just says fly on it. You're gonna need this. Alright. Now, our group specifically has been given 3 targets to go for. You, as he points over to a thing that just says armory, are going to be attacking the armory. You can take what you want, do as you wish. I need it burnt down. Easy enough?
I'll make sure it gets done.
Alright. The more noise you make, the better, to be completely honest. You'll be going with Ultimus.
Alright.
The main group... Nope. Nope. I know what I'm doing, DM. I'm doing this on purpose. The main group will be going to the barracks. There's another party that signed on recently. With the main force in Bleed and Light. If you finish one, you're welcome to go to the other, or just hunt people. You get bonus pay for officers and such, the usual. As I point towards the, it was in the castle, right, DM? The vault?
Yeah, that's correct.
I'm going to be doing the hardest mission is storming the vault. Greg apparently wants something out of it.
Did he give any details of what it is exactly?
I'm not allowed to share.
Understandable.
Other than that, Ultimus is probably going to shoot your friend out of a catapult. I'd suggest you not do the same. You're a little squishier than he is. But that's about it. If you divvy up the potion, it should be enough to get you guys over the wall.
Alright. Now, about this Ultimus shooting my party member,
Yep.
will he survive the fall?
You should. We have a contingency in place.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You ever just
That's mainly
loaded a
my main
person with
concern.
healing solutions and launched him out of a catapult? Goes pretty well.
Huh. So, all right. Then what I want to
Question?
know, yeah, how much of a fighting force should we be expecting? Like heavy severe guards over at the armory or no?
I wouldn't think heavy. I mean, there'll be patrols, but as you can probably guess, okay. My apologies, DM. As you can probably guess, there'll be some patrols, but most of the good leveled people are not here at all. At most, an officer should be weaker than I am.
All right.
Although, with 3 attacks in the mercenary army, the troops will be quite split up.
Well, I'll do what I can to make as much noise as possible while taking down the armory.
Excellent. I'll try to, I'm gonna hope it's good enough, because if I get noticed, I'm probably dead with where I'm gonna go. I have a court wizard to hunt.
Is there an escape plan getting out? Or are we expected to fight our way out?
More than likely fight your way out. I'm sure Ultimus will lead you out afterwards.
Alright. Want to cover all my bases here.
Yes, of course. Make sure Tun gets enough of the potion to get over the wall. We don't really have another way over the wall for him.
Alright.
Well, except the catapult, but that's not going to be comfortable.
No. Okay. I'll make sure we get over the wall.
Alright. And I'll send him out, and I'll start doing the basic briefing for the other mercenaries when morning hits.
Alright. Here, 1 second. We come back. Alright. Yeah, as you kind of walk through the building and the layout, dude's shown the map. You managed to figure out exactly where the armory roughly is on the map and design. Heading out with of the tent as the other mercenary captains kind of pass you, eyeing you up and kind of sizing you up as they do so. Ultimus kind of smiles, tossing the key to Neff, and kind of follows you out after you towards your party. Excitingly seeming to almost be jittery as they seem to be bouncing from side to side, kind of watching you and watching the rest of the people kind of set up camp. The both of you kindly reach the tent where Tun, Gygax, and Melvin are kind of all sitting, you see as they seem to be kind of gathered around some small rations that have been set out. Ultimus kind of comes in, sitting next to you, taking up one of the pillows, and smiles excitedly as she stares at Tun with very big, eager eyes.
I will relay the plan to the party. And so our target is the armory. We've been given a potion of fly to get in. And Tun. Seems Ultimus has a special task to say specifically for you.
Tun gives a questioning look.
Ultimus looks at Dutes and goes, "Do you have the potion?"
I do. I pull it out.
She smiles at Tun as her teeth kind of catch the gleam of the moonlight. The light rain kind of still pattering in the background as it hits the tent. Ultimus looks down at you a lot and goes, "So have you ever heard of that one about the turtle who jumped over the moon?"
Tun's head retreats back into a shell.
No, come here. No, she kind of starts to pet the side of your shell and goes, "Listen, it's gonna be fine. I've got the oil. You're gonna be all set up, and then you get to light a building on fire."
You thought Tauntaun was going in his shell out of fear, but he comes back out with World War I flight goggles.
Alright.
Don't ask how
I
he
don't know
got
where you
them
got
on.
those.
Yeah. So, you know, I suddenly remember Tun disappearing for a moment in the Phalanx and coming back with a strange and satisfied smile on his face.
Oh my god, he committed a war crime.
It wasn't a war crime if the person was shooting cannonballs at him.
Tauntaun has warplane paint.
And then out started to paint himself.
They call me the Green Baron.
Starts painting over the mithril to make it gleam less so he can really come in as a shock. Ultimus continues and goes, so I've got an Everbright torch. And it's got a special bonus to it. You know those blasting diamond things that I was telling you about? So I got one of them and got enough of it together and put it inside the torch. So it should still light something on fire once you kind of wiggle it a little bit. It'll basically ignite like natural fire. Bad news is it'll light anything on fire. As I found, it's kind of why my tent went up to the moon last time we talk. She kind of smiles at that with a nervous look at Tauntaun, expecting him to go back into the shell and hide.
No, not at all.
But
Tauntaun's an arsonist now.
God damn it. Go ahead, dudes.
I'm just thinking in my head, oh my god, it's fucking napalm.
Pretty much. She looks at you lot and goes, so, Neff's mission's pretty simple. You lot are going to climb onto Tauntaun's back. He's going to down about a quarter of this. You all are going to go in like a rocket out of hell, is the idea. You know, like them firework things that Greg likes so much. And then when you shoot off to the catapult, you're going to down the potion so you get a little extra flight, and then you can land a little softer when you go down. Or just go right through the roof. I'm not going to tell you how to live, to be honest.
I'm not really sure a flight potion's going to do much for me.
Then hold on is my recommendation.
It would triple your speed, actually.
Well, Melvin wouldn't do it. She looks in and goes, now, the bad news. So we're gonna have to launch you all on a catapult. Because, your hefty friend here, she pats Tauntaun's shell, is a little too hefty to be pulled up and over the wall in a quiet manner. So it's either through or over, and I figure we get the speed up, Tauntaun drinks his bit of potion, he goes in, lands, you guys let the building on fire, go in, grab what's valuable, maybe kill a few people that are inside, or trap them inside if you want them to burn to death, I'm no judge. And then you get out of the city. I mean, I don't care what you set on fire outside of the main objective, but Neff might be upset if you kill any civilians, so try to make sure you only look for places where soldiers are standing, is my advice.
Ultimus?
Yes?
I grew a little bit since we last saw each other.
Yeah, I see that. You got some rope, right?
I can be rope. I'd morph into a pile of rope.
Alright, we're gonna wrap you around, Tauntaun or one of the others, and that'll be that.
Any thoughts, comments, or concerns about the plan?
Tauntaun.
Excellent, astute observation.
I guess I just don't really see the point in me being on the catapult when, and I, like, hover up a few feet and then back down.
I think it's for the matter of getting you into the city quickly.
He can hold on to my other end, and then we can pull him through the air.
Maybe like.
Gygax, I know we're close and all, but I'd rather not hold on to your other end,
When I'm in rope form. It's like holding my other hand.
Is that how that works for worms?
I'll be a rope, not a worm.
I mean, I just figured it would be the same thing.
How are a rope and a worm the same thing?
Well, you'll be long and noodly, I don't know.
It was at this moment Ultimus knew they chose the wrong crew for this mission.
But a worm is alive. A rope's not alive.
But you're alive, so you being a rope means the rope's alive.
I'm confused.
I put my face in my hands.
Uh-huh.
When are we doing this, Ultimus?
I mean, you guys can go. You're supposed to go in before midnight. Objectively, you should probably go in ahead of Neff, as he's got more missions to do and jobs to do. So you all are making as much mischief and noise as possible, as quickly as possible. Probably better for us.
Tun gets up and starts trying to find the catapult.
Let's get this done.
I follow Tun.
All right. She smiles and goes, "You know, I really like the original idea of explosive oil, but I was turned down for that one." As you head towards...
Tun stops walking, and after like a 3-second pause, he continues walking forward.
A little shiver down his spine for a moment.
What were you planning to do with some explosive oil?
Well, I figured that when you make contact, the impact would cause the explosion, and then it'd negate the impact from the fall. I haven't tried it yet, but I figured in theory it would work.
Jumping off a chair right before it lands.
Hey, exactly. She just kind of looks at you with a questioning look, as if you're the stupid one. As she continues to lead you off to outside of the camp, about another hour of walking. The camp is at this point distant, or in the distance, as you find a section of the wall where the gate, the other gate that had been sealed, is only about 100 feet in front of you at this point as the catapult slowly rolled up. No guards seem to be patrolling up on this part of the wall as Ultimus seems to make a lot of noises as catapult's being moved. It is, and by no means quiet, as it starts to kind of finally get pushed and dragged over. She smiles as she kind of starts to tie the thing down with brute strength, pulling the actual bowl of it down. Setting a little ladder or stepping stool set up for Tun to climb into. The bowl itself is perfectly shaped to Tun's body to allow his legs to hang out the side of it without cramping them in. And it has even a headrest built into it.
Ironically, after I see this, to Dude say, "You wonder if this is more for Ultimus and less for us?"
Oh, I reply ironically. Oh, I know this is purely for their enjoyment.
All right, well, as long as we understand.
Yeah, but does Tun understand?
Tun eyeing this up and down, this massive catapult.
I mean, hey, it looks like listen, this spoon looks like a very comfortable spot for a turtle.
I will say,
for me.
This thing is 40 feet wide and almost 60 feet tall to manage to be able to get enough tension to toss your ass with how heavy you are.
Is this essentially the catapult version of that super large trebuchet? Was it the Warwolf or something that was called?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Except this is just the the war turtle.
The Zaraton catapult. Tun is the Warrock. There, it's true. Daka rode the Warrock. Tun is the Warrock. As Ultimus smiles ecstatically, kind of putting the flying potion right in your mouth, Tun, so that it's uncorked so you can easily down what you need to of it when you're flying through the air. She brings out some rope and starts strapping down Dutz, if you're willing to let her.
I will let her, and as soon as we get ready to launch, I am going to... The only thought in my head is, I'll see y'all on the other side.
It is 24, easily succeeding in tying the knot for you. As she does so, kind of tying you to the Tun, just tying your legs down so that way you won't easily be flown off. You get tied around the front of it. Grab it, going over to Melvin. She looks at Melvin and goes with a small little noose-like knot and goes, "Do you want the tail or the head?"
The head, please.
She kind of puts a little belt around you or the noose like a belt around you, and then goes over and ties her around Tuntun's neck slightly, and then looks over at Gygax and kind of watches. I imagine you turning into a roper.
I've been a rope the whole time. I just wrap myself around everybody and everything.
Alright, as you start grappling onto people, Melvin seems to kind of float a little bit above, kind of trying to keep away from you, but the other two don't seem to be at all phased. Ultimus kind of smiles and goes, alright, and she ties herself down onto you as well. Give me one moment to roll it.
Melvin, hold my hand.
Damn, is it really fucking great? Yeah, as, you call out to Melvin. Tuntun, you feel the last of the rope suddenly tied to you, but that's 4 ropes tied to you. You have 3 party members.
Isn't Ultimus coming with us?
As you turn your head back, you do see Ultimus sitting, strapped, onto the very back of your shell. A large dagger in hand.
Melvin, where's Gygax?
Looking about, you see a bunch of rope, but no Gygax. But as you start to realize this, you suddenly feel the wind blushing through what would be hair on your helmet as you are suddenly flying for the first time in your life. Everyone give me a reflex save for how you react to this.
Do I need to make a reflex save?
No, you're good, done.
24.
Nice.
Did I need to roll?
Yes, Melvin as well.
18.
18, damn. Alright. And then Gygax as well, or you... Yep, there we go. As you lot expecting this and seeing this coming, easily manage to hold on, as Tuntun goes flying into the air, the wind brushing through, as for a few moments Tuntun starts flying. Melvin, you watch as... Takes a few seconds for the rope to pull, and as you realize this is going to probably hurt as you are now about to take all of that force that just happened, you suddenly feel your entire body yanked at top speeds as as you start getting pulled with his velocity along behind him. Kind of like a small parachute, though you don't really poof up as you go flying forward. Yeah, basically. Yeah. You just got the hook, yeah. As you guys go flying mid-air.
No, don't scream.
And Melvin screams over the guard in the distance. You see as guards are getting taken out on the walls as the mercenary company of Nef's people start climbing over. A loud explosion at the gate, or at the other gate, is heard as it sounds like that gate is completely taken by surprise. Nef's mercenary crew starts making their way into the streets and disappears into the shadows of the roads as the moonlight seems to kind of clear up in a patch of the sky, though around a heavy rainstorm starts to pick up as you lot get caught right in the middle of the eye of the storm. Tuntun, you're flying through the air, man. You got the party. You got one party screaming, and you're half over the wall. You can see a massive building. As Dudes kind of semi-points as he tries to with the amount of force towards the building, a large building you realize has about 4 large tower-like objects, or tower-like figures, and a big central square. Looks to be a fancy building from your understanding. That sounds like an armory.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, there is, like, the healing oils, right, for me...
No,
no, that's not what happened.
No,
okay.
she gave you a flight potion and put it in your mouth.
Okay, gotcha. So not the impact I was hoping for. Okay.
Are you gonna try and get her attention get her to put oil on you, or?
Nah.
Okay.
We're just gonna land properly then.
All right.
Only before because about. Question: how long till impact?
It'll be 2 rounds of combat that you're flying, so 12 seconds in total.
Gotcha. So definitely for the no. It's not gonna work since we're too far away during these 2 seconds. All right, cool. On the in the first 6 seconds,
Mhm.
I'm going to do a great Zaraton chortle, as I'm definitely known for.
All right. Let's do a. Are you trying to get people's attention, or are you just trying to be intimidating? What's the idea?
I'm getting people's attention.
Okay. Let's just call that a straight charisma roll to see how loud you can be and how many people catch your attention.
13.
Yeah, as you chortle out for the first time, kind of pushing the potion off to the side of your mouth and start bellowing, the loudness seems to get as a lot of the guards start shouting, looking up in your direction from the walls about a couple sections over, and you start to hear the city starting to light up, fires kind of starting to pick up as doors are opening and soldiers are starting to kind of pour out into the streets. A small sound, sounds like combat on the other side towards that gate. And towards another building that kind of catches your eye. A larger building, also with 4 individual towers off to the side. As you go flying, or as you kind of chortle out during this flight, though, the guards seem to be catching your eye, and as you reflect perfectly in the moonlight, the mithril seems to glow as the guards look up at you lot. Almost like an E.T. phone home scene as the shadow of you lot fly. This really weird creature with an umbilical cord pulling another small ball with it flying in the air.
Of course, the last 6 seconds will be, Tun taking another dose of the potion to have a proper landing.
Okay, as you take down the potion, alright, that's your 12 seconds going down. Geiger, so you doing anything in your 12 seconds of flight?
Right before we land.
Mm-hmm.
What do I see on the ground when we are about 100 feet away from our target?
From down below, there look to be, towards your target, you don't see any, figures outside. The building looks to be completely, clamored up. Bars look to be pushed on the outside of it, like keeping the doors from the inside locked. There looks to be a hefty stone building, no real glass or any real ability to even see in it, and the towers themselves look to be small castle-like towers. They do have little slits in them designed for like arrows to be shot out of, but from what you can tell in the gleam of the moonlight, you don't see anything immediately that catches your eye.
I'm gonna fire a magic missile at the building.
Okay. That's gonna auto hit as it doesn't have a very high AC, or has a 1 in AC, and I know you have a higher base attack than that, so. Go ahead and roll for your damage. And
basically, it's to help grab everyone's attention.
Okay.
Is basically what it's for. Not really to damage the building, but
yeah, you're just trying to get the attention of everyone's attention drawn towards that building. I got you.
There's gonna be so much damage. Are you ready?
Hey, I'm excited. Oh.
I hope y'all know I'm hearing Doom soundtrack right now.
Yeah, as the slam of the magic missiles go shooting out of this rope, you watch as a couple of torches get slammed into and kind of turned slightly, catching a couple of the guards on the street's attention towards the armory, making them kind of drawing their looks over. The torch is kind of turning over, the ambers burning and falling out of the torch, slightly causing a bit of fire on these stone roads, but nothing seems to catch as it does so. All right, you've got 6 more seconds. Is there anything else you want to do, Gygax? All right. As you hear Tun chortle out, you join in, getting more and more guards' attention to look up at you a lot. You hear people yelling and shouting something about many legs, something about monsters, and something about a dragon attacking. Screams of that there's an ancient dragon coming to destroy the city. All right, Melvin, you got your 2 rounds. Is there anything you want to do besides scream as you're being pulled along?
Okay. Is the only rope attached to me the normal rope, or is Gygax also attached to me?
Just the normal rope.
You didn't take my hand.
First, I would like to just try to slip the rope.
Oh, okay. Yeah. As you go ahead and let's say give me a reflex save for that.
12.
12? Yeah, you manage to pull the rope off of you as it continues flying, watching as the rest of the party continues kind of careening towards the building.
And which portion of the building are they landing on the roof? Or look like they're gonna hit the roof?
It roughly looks like Tun's aiming for the direction of the top of the roof of the armory. Yeah, as you're left now about roughly a few 100 feet from where the armory is, floating mid-air. I'd say about 200 feet up in the air at this point, maybe 250 roughly.
Damn, I should have waited till I got a little closer.
Are you gonna drop? Are you gonna drop out of the air?
I want to. How dark is it right now? Is it dark?
The moonlight is. You're in the eye of a massive storm that's all around. That seems to be surrounding the outskirts of the city, but the moonlight is clearing up things. You look like a giant shadow in the sky right now, basically. Well, small shadow in the sky. You're technically tiny, to be fair. Or small, rather, for size.
Now that I'm free, I would like to follow at a distance.
Okay. Yeah, as you start heading after the party with your, what is it, 20 feet of flying distance?
Yeah.
It's going to take you 4 rounds to get to the building, just as for your own notes.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thus ending your turn as you follow after. I'm going the going 40 feet to move up for your flight speed, using your action and your movement for it. So that'll leave 60 feet left between you and the armory as you watch them go flying. Dutes, as you're standing or kind of being tied down by the feet to Tun, kind of holding onto his shell as you're trying to point and look over and point to the armory. You've got 12 seconds, 6 until Tun palps a potion and slows slightly down.
I'm going to... So, I want to cast, and I want to ask you, regardless of if this is going to make me have to upcharge the spell, I want to cast Prestidigitation on myself to make it to where any sound I make will be heard citywide.
Okay.
How much of an upcharge is that going to be?
Is this for with one of your items, or is this just for your casting?
This is just my casting.
You can't upcast.
Okay. It was at least worth a try.
Yep, yeah, you'd have to make a whole new spell for it to be able to match that level of power.
Alright, well then I am going to cast I'm going to cast it on myself, and I'm going to have my volume set to as loud as I possibly can.
I think it projects your voice an extra 60 feet, I believe is what it is, but go ahead, Kim.
And I'm going to, as we get closer, begin a concentration for Inspire Competence, Courage.
Okay. Alright, what song are you playing?
So, the song I'm going to be playing is from the Epic of Odyssey. Okay. It's going to be starting off with Survive.
Appropriate.
Very.
Alright. As you begin to play, I would play it, but the stream, unfortunately, would be taken down, so...
Not only would it get taken down, it would just get copyrighted the fuck out of, so...
Mm-hmm. But yeah, as the music begins to slowly pace... you'll have to excuse me, I have not actually heard this song, at least not off the top of my head, I'm not remembering it. As you begin, I imagine pulling out a slightly more light-like violin, or do you have a preferred instrument you're going to be going with for this?
So it is actually, if I remember correctly, still very much a guitar, so I will be using my lute.
Yo, your lute. Alright.
Yeah.
As you, you start to strum and get yourself going, the music starts to pick up as you start coming into for a landing. Alright? And that is that's your first 6 seconds, and then the prestidigitation was the other 6 seconds to try. Are you trying to make that louder so it kind of echoes throughout the entire, as far around you as possible, the music specifically?
Yeah,
okay.
So that if any allies that I can, or I at least deem, if once I feel that they're nearby, will also get the buff.
Okay. Yeah, as you come, or as you finally manage, or as you start playing the music starts echoing through the entire city, giving almost a strange and ominous feeling to the battle. Of a soundtrack to a live battle is not something that happens often. As the battle or the sounds of fighting begins to pick up slightly in the streets. As it sounds like Neff's mercenaries seem to get caught up into the full of combat. As you come into a landing, finally finding yourself down on the armory, managing to down the enough the flight potion just to manage for the last 6 seconds, allowing you to keep most of it. You come to a soft landing on top of the roof. Though with your heavy weight, you can feel and hear the sound of your impact on the stones as your body kind of fully lets go. At that point, you see as you look back, kind of as people start pulling the ropes off of you, imagine Gygax turning back into his normal chest form. Or are you staying as okay? Turning into his chest form and Dutes untying himself. As you look back, at some point, someone went missing. And as you look about, you see Ultimus's boots tied down to your shell.
I could see. I assume I could see our dear friend Melvin just a little bit of ways off.
Yeah, slowly floating down towards you guys with a light whisper of shit in the background.
I guess Ultimus didn't tie herself down all too well. I hope she's okay.
But as you lot look around, landing on top of this building, you're about 40 feet off the ground. As far as as you look down, you see some guards are starting to kind of patrol around the area a bit more actively, looking about, but they haven't spotted you lot as it seems almost dark up here.
I look at Dutes and I give him a wink because I'm about to do something pretty funny.
I was going to say, the ominous music seeming to not catch their attention on where the location is, but the guards you do notice that are looking about and doing their patrol seem to be trying to identify where the music is as they look and search about about 40 feet below you.
Because, you see, Royce, Tun is well over 7,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm on a roof. I'm just gonna jump right in place.
Okay, let's roll.
I just nod and mouth do it.
All right.
I give a wink and a smirk.
Let's roll initiative.
I'm not jumping because I'm on a rooftop, right? I'm jumping hopefully to crash through the roof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's roll initiative as you see coming through the floor the surprised look of two groups of warriors and very well-dressed knights that are now looking at you with complete shock as you come cracking through the roof with a look on your the excited look on your face of combat.
19.
19 for Tun. Alright, we got 10 for Melvin. 8 for Dutes. Thank God for that support casting. 21 on the Gygax. Nice. And then, what we got? Let's see. And then... Damn, that's bad. Okay. Alright, as we go into initiative, crushing through, you guys will get the surprise round, starting with Tun's falling through the roof. As you guys come falling through, one sec, I'm just finishing up the order. We will start... well, actually, let me say first question. Gygax and Dudes, are you going to jump in with the hole with him, or are you trying to avoid being taken down this thing with him?
Hell yes.
I do not want to go in that hole. I want to remain on the roof if I can for a little bit.
Okay, give me a reflex save. 16. Okay. All right.
Do I need a reflex?
If you're going down there with him, nope. You're just going down with the fall. You're falling with a purpose, is basically the thing.
I'm falling with style.
Exactly. Alright, as we go to the top of the surprise round, Gygax, you're up first for the surprise round. As Tuntun goes clattering down with you all, or with you, towards the ground, you both fall a full 40 feet. Tuntun, you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall.
Okay, so the roof the roof is 40 feet above the next floor.
Yeah, well, as you fall through, you realize that the second floor was balconied, with shelves, and you just fell through the center of the building and through where there was no second floor.
Gotcha. All right, 8 damage, no worries.
Yeah, as you come clattering down on a table, crushing a heavy table underneath you. This sounds of crunching metal beneath you, as well as whatever drinks or items were on that table are now probably flattened pancakes. Gygax on top of you comes down as a chest, landing with ease as he kind of bumps off of you, taking no impact because with the soft landing. As you two kind of jumping or staying to side, you look about. You see that there are, for Gygax's own notes, about 20 feet up and on the side railings that, as they look over, the railings being made of wood, look to be 2 large knights in purple-colored armor, or metal armor. A group of warriors as well off to the side of them, many of them seeming to wear similar plate, though it looks to be just a bright color of bronze from the coloration. They also look to be slightly smaller than the 2 knights. And each of them seem to be carrying what looks to be short swords as well as buckler shields, though at the moment 4. As you look to the other balcony across the way, you see another 4 warriors in the same garb of wearing, but the bronze-like coloration of plate, and carrying short swords as well as what looks to be roughly buckler shields.
And all 10 of these people are on the 20 feet above us?
Those 10 warriors and 2 knights that you see. Yeah.
Anyone on the ground floor?
As you look about, you see just you and Tuntun. Although as you do look up to the hole where you came through, you can see Doots playing music.
Waiting for this to end up becoming like the fight scene in the first Shrek movie.
So as you look about, there's just shelves of weapons, gems, chests full of coin that are lying about. This looks to be a full magical armory by your guesstimation. God damn it! There we go. Come back there. Nope. I can see the little thing going down. So if I sound poor, I apologize. But as you look about, you do see it looks like there are numbers of items with carvings and rune marks all about them. These, you start to realize this place was sealed for a reason, though, as there seems to be, looking down the ground, a large red painted, what looks to be like a metal-like paint circle kind of drawn about the entire building.
Is there anything within 10 feet of me that is not a Tuntun?
There are pillars that are holding up the balconies above, like stone pillars. Beyond that, it's just tables and wooden chairs that are kind of set up and kind of some of them crushed under and around you. But a few tables and chairs. That's about it.
Okay, so there is a pillar within 10 feet, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Correct.
Is there a pillar below the warriors?
Yeah.
The knights?
It looks like there's 6 pillars each side that hold up the balconies above them that they're kind of standing on right now.
I'm going to shoot a pseudopod at a pillar, and I'm going to do an adhesive crush on it.
Okay. Alright, roll to hit the pillar. With its, I mean, if you can get the base attack, or if you can hit less than a 2, I'd be shocked, but you never know. That works, yeah. Easily slamming, hitting the stone pillar. Go ahead and roll your damage for it. Oh no.
I have to roll twice. So here's the first part of the damage.
Okay. Ton
13
contemplates.
damage total.
13. All right, as you watch as your pod goes slamming into it, circling around it in a bit and then clamping down, you watch as the stone pillar itself seems to shatter with ease. The platform above kind of shakes a little bit. The knights seemingly kind of catching on to what you're doing seem to eye you, but the other group of warriors don't seem to understand and seem to jeer and give you or kind of talk crap to you in comments. As you hear them kind of throw comments down, one of them stating something that you couldn't hit the broadside of one of the armory. As you hear a bunch of them start to chuckle, and then another goes, "I bet he couldn't even see his way out of a box." As they continue to make jokes at you, Gygax.
Psionically, I bark/roar very loudly in all their brains.
Give me an intimidation check. And that'll be your surprise round. As you try to do so, ouch. Oh no, okay, there you go. Oh, that's wow. Yeah, as you try to do so, you see a couple of them kind of stop for a moment and give a moment's pause, but then a couple of them start to point and laugh and go, "Hey, look, boys, it's a chest that can talk in your head. It reminds me of my ex-wife." As they start just making jokes back and forth at each other at your expense, ending your surprise round. Tun, you're up. As you hear these lot chortling and joking at you.
Tun eats a fire eclair.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Now,
and,
if I said those platforms were wooden, you wouldn't use that, right?
No, actually, I would probably use it more if I could.
Oh shit. Uh-huh.
So, Tun eats a fire eclair and shoots it right where the knights and the warriors are.
Are you aiming at them or are you aiming at the platform that they're standing on?
Well, I mean, it's a 5-foot diameter sphere, so aiming at them is aiming at the platform.
That's fair. That's a reflex save, I believe.
Yes. And since it's Zebril who made it, it's based off of that spell save.
Oh, fuck. Shit, I can't beat that. Yeah, nope, never mind. I won't even bother. Even if I roll that 20, I can't beat his DC, so... yeah, alright. As you eat one of your... I think, you've got, 3 more of these things?
Actually, I think after this one, I have 9 left of these eclairs.
Oh, okay. As you down one of these, shooting, the fireball out, go ahead and roll your damage.
Let me see. Yeah, it's 2d6. Also, I mean, the sphere does have, 30 feet of movement speed.
Yep.
Per the round it's active, so, of course...
the initial impact,
going around...
Alright,
lighting as much things on fire as I can.
Roll me, a second, set of damage die then for as you have it move around. I will note, before you go through with this fully and you roll those dice and commit to this, I want to take this into account for you. You saw from on the outside that the doors were barred from the outside, meaning there are giant logs holding the doors to get out of the armory from the outside. So unless you're, I assume you have a plan in mind here. So
I have knocked down trees before.
You're going through a wall. Okay. All right. I gave you a shot. You know what? Let's see what you got.
All right. Let me pull up a dice roller for the 2d6s.
Don't trust Abra.
All right. First set is 9 damage. Second set is 7 damage.
As you watch, let me double check something real quick. Wait a minute. How much was that in total again?
9 and then 7. So that would be, 16 total?
Fucking goddamn it, you cocksucker. As the fireball kind of hits the top, you watch as the platform begins to emblaze and burn. The bits of wood that aren't magical of the item starting to catch fire. Some of the metal starting to melt. as the room starts to get hotter and hotter up there, as you watch some items start to slightly glow in reaction to the spell, causing the heat upstairs on that floor to almost intensify, as the fireball continues to kind of slowly meander its way up to the platform, lighting on fire, hitting as many of the knights and the warriors try to jump out of the way. The knights managing to easily jump out, and with very little damage, as they seem to wipe off the few bits of flame. But as the warriors seem to get caught in it, you watch as a few of them go. Two of them go climbing over the side of the rail and slam into the ground, but right next to you, with a wet slap as they hit the cobbles on the floor. The other two seemingly to get caught up in the fireball as it seems to char them alive. The smell of burning flesh kind of emanating out of the roof as it does so.
Ton chortles.
God damn it. Alright. Melvin for the surprise round.
Full movement.
I'm coming.
Alright, as you go rushing at top speeds, another 40 feet. Now only 20 feet from the building and 20 feet above Dutes. You can see clearly into the hole. About 40 feet below you, the two knights kind of laying on their sides as they're trying to dodge this fire that's kind of starting to engulf the room. As you look down, but that does take two of your actions to do your full movement. So,
Okay.
all right.
That's my turn then.
No worries. Dutes, surprise round still. What are we doing here?
Well, I mean, I gotta maintain concentration, so,
Yep. Give me another
my
concentration
brothers.
check. Yep.
Yep. My brothers. No, I'm not singing this. I'm just typing this shit out. I'm not singing this.
Hey, fair enough.
Coward.
I didn't.
Says the
Fine.
man who was
My
in
brothers.
choir.
The rest of our team, they wait at the wall. And if we're defeated, that's good as dead. Straight ahead, that's who we're fighting.
All right. You know what? Go ahead and give me a concentration and a perform check for that.
All right. So I am also changing the lyrics to avoid copyright and to better fit the situation.
Oh, dude, I don't think you could sing it without the instrumentals to catch the copyright. I'm gonna be honest, it'd take a lot.
All right. Concentration is 17.
17.
Perform is 33.
You all feel inspired, causing the troops down below to look up almost in shock with the sounds of this music emanating out, giving you guys a second surprise round as they seem to be completely distracted. As Dutes continues with the song, getting the guards on the outside of the armory now's attention as patrols start to kind of look over in the direction, trying to find the source of the music, though still not looking up, as no one looks up in any sort of game, as they say. Giving you guys a second surprise round, that goes back up to the top of the round then with Gygax. Oh!
So the warriors that jumped over, are they dead?
The two on the floor, yeah, they're dead.
So
But the knights are still alive.
Yeah. The two knights are alive.
Yeah, the pillar that I slammed into and I'm still holding on to, is it on fire directly above me?
Yeah, it's starting to catch fire. It hasn't started crumbling, but it is caught.
Okay. I'm gonna just walk over to Tun, silently speaking to him. Tun, I'm just gonna stand on your shell and shoot sling from your back.
But of course, Gygax. I have no issues with doing this.
Thank you.
Imagine saying this to a mouthful of pastry.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this facing the opposite way from Tun. So basically, I'm covering his rear. And first target I see, I'm gonna swing a sling at him.
All right.
With the special bullets.
Oh no.
The spider butt plugs?
Yep, those are the only ones I have.
And you're aiming at anyone you can see?
I'm aiming at the closest target that I can see that is alive.
Okay. So that'd be one of the aristocrats, the looking knight-like figures, the fancy armors. That hits. Yes, that does hit. All right, as you shoot a blow or a bolt through them, the fishhook's catching onto the side of this guy's shoulder as it slams into it. It doesn't seem to go through his body, but as the impact slams, you hear a light crunch. That kind of gives a slight satisfaction as you hear, and then the slight screech of pain as they seem to be picking at the hooks, trying to pull them out. That seem to have gotten lodged.
It's gonna create 1 extra damage every time he starts moving that thing around.
Oh yeah, which that'll be on his turn. That's just for flavor as far as it goes. That's as far as for reaction. All right, yeah, it's your first shot. You did move to get on top. You would have moved to climb onto Tun's back. So, otherwise, all right. As just there's nothing else that you had, Gygax?
And that was a purple knight that I shot that at, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
All right. Continuing down, Tun.
Alright, so this is the last round that this ball of fire is active, so okay. I'm gonna have it go to, because you said there's also wars on the other balcony, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's where it's gonna go.
Alright, as you have the bolt kind of just slowly move its way across the way, it seems to catch where the other warriors are by surprise, going towards them. They will... I might as well... Actually, can I make that? No, I cannot make that because his casting level's too high. Yeah, as they can't make their reaction, go ahead and roll your damage for hitting them.
Same.
Yep,
the
same
2. As last time?
Yep, the 2.
All right.
Because I imagine you're not just gonna like have it flow through them. You're gonna have it come back around using your full turn to do this since you're not moving.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I figured. So that's 2 hits with it.
All right. 7 and 8.
All right. Let me double check my numbers. As you watch, many of the warriors seem to kind of try and manage to jump out of the way, though the char seems to burn them, catching them. So many of them seem to dodge out of the way too late. Arms, legs, massive chunks of their body seem to get caught in the blaze. Though as the fireball kind of dissipates, Tun, your mouth kind of finally closing. The warriors kind of stand up, and now with the slight char marks across their face, angrily looking down, start snarling towards you.
Chortles.
All right, Melvin, you're up. Still a surprise around here at this point.
First, can I see the painted magic circle?
Yes, you can.
Am I able to tell if it's some kind of, like, spell or anything?
Yeah, give me a knowledge arcana.
21.
Yeah, you recognize this spell. This is a necromancy spell, that is normally, cast around roughly a, 5th level. You would recognize this as Magic Jar. For those who are, if you're curious, I will post that. As far as the spell itself, what you would know about Magic Jar, as you see this spell circle, looks like it's supposed to be keyed to activate upon something, though with the chairs and the broken rubble, it's too hard to tell what the exact information is to cause the activation. You do know the spell itself is usually used to basically take over a stronger creature from another, like a possession, if you will. If you've ever played in my Sunday campaigns, you'd be very familiar with how possession works.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
But think of this in a more permanent concept.
Gotcha.
Gygax wanted to know if they got a bonus for the song besides the standard bonus they get from what I normally perform.
You're good. Oh, you did. You got the extra surprise round. That was what the thing was, because they're still in shock and all. That's why they haven't attacked yet, Gygax. Give Melvin a second, sounds like.
Yeah, I'm looking.
No worries.
So how far off from the closest enemies, am I?
You can see the closest ones are 40 feet below you. Two purple armored knights look to be completely clad. One looks to be picking at something on his shoulder. That doesn't take you much to realize as you see Gygax, I imagine, kind of slightly giving what you now recognize as a grin, looking up at this guy as he's trying to pull out a slug. Unless you consider Dude's your enemy, in which case he's 20 feet below you.
So I will float down
Okay.
so that I'm about 25 feet above them.
Okay. You float down 15 feet, yeah.
And unless the guy with the hooks in him has 6 or more hit die, I'll need a will save.
Oh, that's unfortunate. He does not. Give me a minute. Oh no. Oh, this shouldn't be horrible. 17.
And then it goes off what my intelligence.
Yep.
Depends on what the spell you're using.
It would be Call Sphere.
Cost fear? Let me double check. Because
They become frightened.
yeah, I'm just double checking my rule here. Oh yeah, it's just okay. So it's it's a will save for them. Yep. So it's shaken. Your will is gonna be your casting level plus 10. So you're guys are level 3, right?
So it would be 14.
14. Yeah, it'd be 14 would be the save.
Oh, we were level 4.
We are level
14.
4.
Yeah, so well that's why that's why he's correct. It's 14 because 10 plus 4.
And then I get a +2 from my spellcasting prodigy.
So that makes it
So it'd be
16.
16.
With a 17 save. Yeah, as you suddenly put on, the magic around you starts to kind of close and create this terrifying face. You see the aristocrat kind of look up at you and then look back at the wound and continue to pick at it, and he was kind of more distracted by that than you.
Nope. That's my turn.
Ends your turn. Okay. Doots.
He is shaken for 1 round, though, since he succeeded.
Oh, shit. Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
I'm gonna maintain concentration.
Okay.
No backup, no chance for support, so draw out your swords. Our foe must be thwarted right here and now. Show me how great is your will to survive.
All right. Give me another concentration perform check. Let's keep it going.
Concentration 25.
Damn.
Perform is 18.
Okay, as you manage to keep it going, the song seems to pick up more and more guards, seemingly turning towards the armory, though as you look over to the side of the street, every time one seems to come into glimpse of the light, they seem to be cut down by something in the shadows a moments later. The quiet whispers of something on the air catches your attention as you hear, "These aren't my boots." As you continue to play your song. The guards down below seemingly continued enamored. Everyone go ahead and take a +2 to your attacks going forward.
Nice.
For Melvin, that'll count as a +2 to your DC for that as well, for your spells. Cool. Alright. Dutes, is that all you want to do with your turn?
Yeah, that is all I can do.
Okay. As we get to the top, the aristocrat knights are up first. As they pull their blades standing up, the one is going to take 1 point of damage. Leaving them now. Oh no. Alright. Okay. So that would be... Okay. As they kind of look over at you lot, one of them pulls out a bow, kind of aiming towards you, Tun at first. And let's see if he can actually hit Tun. That's going to be the question. That 21, Tun.
Nope.
As the arrow kind of bounces off of you, kind of seeing this as he had to stand up. Still, oh wait, actually, sorry, that would have been 19 because he was shaking. Doesn't matter though. The arrow manages to easily bounce off of you, you watch as the knight with the slight wound in his shoulder kind of eyes you two down on the ground. Not even paying attention to Melvin, who's like staring up at him from the hole, or down on him from the hole, as he kind of waits or readies another action. The other knight, seeing this, takes a shot at Gygax. Let's see. There we go. For 14. Gygax, I assume that doesn't hit? Yeah. As the arrow goes flying past you, as he had to stand up, ends his turn from the prone, kind of staring down at you as the two with ready their arrows, ending that. Gygax, you are up.
Bullet number 2.
All right, let's see what you got.
This is going to the other knight.
Okay. Damn. Yeah, that hits. Holy hell.
Oh, and that was without the +2 from Deuce's song.
Yeah, that's with a 29. Yeah, you easily managed to hit the knight. And go ahead and roll your damage as you pierce through his armor. Okay. 5. Okay. As you slam your or kind of aiming your slug towards the knight, waving it around as it goes flying towards him, you watch as the hit kind of slams into the chest, indenting the chest. Though the bolt doesn't seem to hit him and make contact, you see a large impact as the bolt kind of falls to the ground, or rather, ball rather falls to the ground, as the hooks seem to dangle down to the ground just as lifelessly, though a sizable chunk in his chest, now making him look like he has an Iron Man setting ready to go. Look as the two looked on to you angrily. Well, damn, tell me how you really feel. Heard you yawn.
Man's tired and he's about to go to work in a couple hours too.
Time for that energy drink. All right, Gygax. No, you're good. I'm not offended, mate. I get it. Gygax, that was one attack. Are you gonna, since you're not moving, do you want to make a second one?
Yeah, because the bullet did stick to that guy. I'm gonna try and shoot him again.
All right, heavy plate, man. Oh, damn. Yeah, that hits. Jesus Christ. Dude's in the inspiration here. 6. Alright. As you slam into the guy again, the bolt seeming to hit his chest nearly same spot with ease. Again, leaving a massive impact. You see as the plate's starting to kind of tear in the center, but the bolt once again falls to the ground. Alright. As that ends...
And I yell...
Oh, yeah?
Your mothers were hamsters and your father smelt of elderberries.
A classic line. A classic.
As they shouting...
How will they ever recover?
As you shout this to them, they seem to kind of look at you. One of them kind of taking his helmet off slightly. You see a beast folk's face under there, and you see a hamster-like appearance appear. As you see a pure hatred at the offense you've just declared towards this knight and gentleman, kind of envelop him, rage-filled in those very adorable and cute eyes.
It's like calling a human's mother a monkey.
Warriors, those warriors are dead thanks to Eclair. Tun.
You broke up there. Hold on, you broke up there. What did he look like when he took the helmet off?
He is a beast folk with a hamster of a head. His hatred looking at you, the realization of the blood oath you basically just swore against him by insulting his entire people by calling that an insult.
Was that the first knight that I hit, or the second knight that I hit that took his helmet off?
The second one.
Okay.
Because assumedly that's the one the one who he thinks you're talking to. Is you just landed 2 bolts in his chest trying to knock him down. As you kind of laugh at that, you see horror and hatred in those cute little eyes as they look down at you. It's hard to feel any fear as you look at them, and I do mean that I have his stats. He has a -3 to intimidation. Tun, you are up.
All right. How far are these guys away from me?
The knights above you are 20 feet up in the air, and then the 2 warriors that are left, or the 4 warriors that are left on the other side, seem to still be 20 feet, about 10 feet in front of you, and about 20 feet up on the opposite side.
Oh, so the knights didn't jump down onto the floor?
Knights stayed up there shooting arrows down at you lot.
Huh.
There's fire blazing, but the building, the top floor platform has not fallen through yet.
Oh, I could always eat another eclair.
Tun eyeing them up at the annoyance that he can't. You do know you have javelins, right?
I know, but still.
Okay.
Shit. How much damage does a javelin do?
I think it's 1d4. I believe.
It's a D4.
Let me double check my javelin. Yes, because they're medium. 2 seconds. If it'll load. Alright, my internet's not happy. I do have 15 tabs open. Give me a minute.
Yo, I feel that.
I think my, let's see if I can get it. Oh, no. I'm gonna say it's a D4 unless my rules lawyer has a chance to go take a look, or if you want to try and look up Javelin 3.5 and look your note up. Because I'm still loading.
I have like 18 tabs open. So
yeah, but you're not DMing right now. You have no excuse. You just don't close your tabs. You're worse than my old aunt. But they should be like, it's a D6. My apologies.
Okay, D6.
Because I see it on the Hobgoblin thing.
Alright. So, I'll throw a javelin at one of the warriors.
Okay. Let's see what you got.
Alright. So, that plus 19 to hit.
Now, I do have a question. Are you proficient in javelins, just out of curiosity?
What are barbarians proficient? Aren't they, like, all martial or something? Or is it just one kind of weapon? Let me double check.
I mean, you should have that in your notes. I do want to double check, because you do take a -4 penalty if you're not able to use,
Let me take a quick look at the barbarian.
It counts as simple, but I don't remember if barbarians get simple or martial, so...
A barbarian is proficient with all simple and martial weapons.
Alright, you're good then. Yeah, go ahead and roll to do your throw then. Let's see what you got.
It'd be 19.
19? That does... the warriors, that does hit. With ease.
All right. Now let's roll damage. 4 damage.
As you go piercing into one of the warriors, you see as the body seems to almost collapse as the javelin lands square. You watch as the person kind of falls back, landing in a pile. A little bit of gurgling has heard as the other 3 seem to kind of slightly panic seeing this.
All right, and since I'm not moving, we're gonna do that again with another warrior.
Oh no. Tun's gonna turn them into skewers, alright.
Yes.
Well, let's see what you got.
25.
25, that hits. Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage.
5.
as you watch as the another javelin goes flying up in the air, fire still blazing all around you, the music kind of still roaring. The javelin seems to go and catch just right as one of the two of the warriors kind of come over towards, and it seems to skewer right perfectly between two of them, killing both of them as they drop to the ground. The last one looking at you seems to glare at you, Tun-Tun, defiantly as he starts to draw what looks to be a bow.
Alright, well, that's my turn.
Alright. As he is the warrior, in his mind, he is the warrior among warriors, the chosen one to stalk down Tun-Tun and kill him, this immoral turtle. One who's done all of this hatred and evil. Let's see what's above.
Well, Tun-Tun feels no hatred, it is but a job.
And that's a 13 to hit as he pulls back the bow, draws, and watches it bounce easily off your shell.
I can just imagine he just lands at my feet and I just look at it.
And he looks down at you and goes,
Tun-Tun chortles.
Knock another one, and he's going to do the same thing again with a little more gusto, hopefully.
Hopefully.
12d20. That should hit. Yeah, right. There we go. 20. As he seemingly gets excited, feeling the bow this time even easier as the muscles seem to almost naturally pull back. The arrow, he knows that this would hit any normal man, even in the strongest of play, as it seems to go flying in, hitting into your helmet and slightly bouncing off with a light thud. You see the entire despair fall into this warrior's eyes as he looks down to you. The slight kobold, like a scale, seemingly to kind of glimmer with the fire as they seem to start to engulf the top floor bit by bit. Ugh. As ends his turn, as you start chortling in the fiery blaze, Melvin, you're now about 25 feet above these two warriors, about roughly 5 feet above the hole in the roof, and kind of off to the side of Doots as you look down watching this as the building's starting to take a full blaze, much of the top floor fully on fire at this point.
Alright. Am I kind of above either of them?
Yeah, as you look down, yeah, they don't seem to be paying attention to you as both of them look to be focusing at the edge of man, I'm losing my words here. At the edge of the platform, kind of looking down at Gygax and Tun-Tun.
Alright. I'm gonna try and drop an acid splash on them.
Oh no. Okay. Is that a reflex save for them, or is that a...
It is a touch attack.
Oh, you're gonna go down there and touch them? Alright.
But you fire a small orb of acid at the target, yeah, it must succeed on a ranged touch attack.
Oh, ranged touch. Okay, never mind. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, got you. Let's see what you got.
And that's plus my base attack bonus.
Yep.
And Dude's music.
Yep. Man, I love motorcycles in the afternoon traffic. 14, as you go shooting acid down on them, you watch as the acid easily lands on the guy, on one of their helmets, starting to melt through. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Alright. Big damage coming here.
Oh, you got this. It's just a lot of HP, right? Oh my god. Man, a little bit of acid starts to melt through. You hear a slight scream from the knight that's still wearing his helmet as a little bit of the acid starts to melt through the helmet. The helmet cracks, splitting apart off of the figure's head, revealing a second beast folk hamster-like creature as they stare up at you suddenly, Melvin. This one with a bit more black fur. They look up at you almost as if, from appearances, as if you just shot their cat in front of them with the sadness in their eyes. Though to their people that would be recognized as unblazoned fury. As he kind of stares up at you. But yeah, as you shoot acid down, that's one of your movements. Or one of your actions. What else would you like to do?
I give a little wave at the one that looked up at me, and then throw another ball of acid at it.
All right, roll again. Man, Melvin's trying here.
16.
That hits. Turns out touch is not that high for when you're wearing just plate.
Nice, I rolled 2 that time.
And you're getting better. As the acid begins to melt through, you watch as that creature seems to kind of, with a large dent and large hole in its shoulder with from the earlier slug, still kind of tearing. The acid splashing down on it. You hear the creature kind of whimper as a bit of the flesh or the fur burns away, and a nice scar erupts across its face as the acid wherever the acid lands, causing a nice scarring effect in the creature to look both adorable and menacing as it stares up at you, Melvin.
I look at it and lick my beak.
Oh. Roll an intimidation check.
15.
15. You see a slight look of horror in this creature's eyes as the realization it looks like it thinks you're going to eat it. As the creature looks up at you with utter fear. Alright, is that end your turn, Melvin?
Yep.
Alright. Doots.
I'm going to maintain concentration.
Okay, roll concentration and perform.
Alright. 23 on the perform. 23 on the concentration.
As you go continuing to play this song, the music seeming to get louder, though every time guards seem to be attracted to the area, they seem to disappear as a wide berth around you is left clear. The light from the fire starting to pick up, the music starts to expand, much of the city starts to seemingly almost go quiet, allowing your music to travel further on the night sky, as loud, small, minor explosions can be kind of almost caught every few seconds in between notes. Yeah, you continue going on.
Alright, fight. I'm not doing any more lyrics.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't get any more good advantages then, man. Alright.
Oh, fine. Fine, okay. 600 lives at stake. It's just one life to take. And when we kill him, then our journey's over. No dying on me now. Defeat is not allowed. We must live through this day, so fight.
As you
a lot more than one man.
As you sing this out bellowing, you hear it starts to get echoed by the many mercenaries throughout the city as the song seems to be picked up by the troops. You're not sure if it's your side, the enemy's side, but this definitely isn't a stealth mission anymore, like Nefed explained. As the clash of blades starts to pick up in the distance with these sounds of singing kind of echoing throughout the town, following in common with Doots. All right.
He wanted me to get as much attention as possible. I'm doing that.
It's true. I'll give. All right, everyone gets a let's say a +4 to their damage from now for the rest of the combat. We were the distraction, no stealth need, exactly. All right, dudes, as you belt this out, music kind of echoing through the streets, the aristocrats kind of looking up now, seeing you singing and identifying you as the master of these beasts of such creatures. Both of them are going to turn and start shooting arrows up at you, though the other is going to focus on Melvin more. Let's do our 2d20 for the first, as he's not going to be moving. Does a 17 or a 15 hit?
Neither of those hit.
As the first of the two kind of turns away, having been glaring at Gygax moments ago, looks back up at you, pulling back 2 arrows, drawing them. They go wide around you as you continue singing through this. The other is going to make 2 attacks against Melvin. Oh no. 20 and a 17, Melvin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both of them.
Oh, all right. Give me a moment to find my note. It's there we go. All right. 2d6. Thankfully, they don't have any extra modifiers. Melvin, you feel as the two arrows kind of slam into you one after another as you take 7 points of piercing damage from the creature you just threw acid at and then licked your beak at. This hamster folk is looking up at you with terror in his eyes, fighting you in desperation as if he's prepared or expecting to die now. As he continues to shoot arrows at you wildly. Alright, ending their turns. Gygax, both aristocrats have turned their backs to you and are staring up at the hole, shooting at Doots and Melvin. One of the Blackford one just hit Melvin straight on twice. What would you like to do, Gygax? Uh-oh, did we lose Gygax? Let me see if we can...
Sorry.
Oh, okay, good. Making sure that we didn't lose you.
Yeah, no. As I shoot 2 bullets at the black-haired hamster, I'm going to yell, "You hit my brother, I'm going to eat you."
That's terrifying. All right. Roll an intimidation after you do your 2 attacks.
Here's the first attack.
That hits.
Here's the second attack. Oh, wait, actually, that's +2 to both of those, so 24 and 12.
The 24 hits, the 12 does not.
Yeah.
You get an extra 4 to your damage dice when you do damage from Doots' song, as your bullets become emblazoned with the power of his magic and music.
Here's my intimidation.
You see as you go to shoot the the slug. There we go. That's the word I've been looking for like 5 minutes. As the slug goes flying through the air, slamming into him, the creature, the hamster folk turns toward you just immediately as the slug slams into their head. Go ahead and roll your damage. Taking 8 damage, you watch as the creature is slightly knocked to daze, eyes kind of spinning as you say this. A little bit of blood kind of coming out of their the side of their lip, and where the slug had impacted, though fallen off as the hooks didn't manage to click on or catch on. Pretty large dent in the side of their skull is showing, where you can see bits of bone kind of sticking out at this point as you look up Gygax.
Okay, those are my 2 actions.
Yep, no worries. As you end your turn with that, the fear of this creature slightly, as the other one looks towards you as well once more. The warriors that Tun killed with a fireball are still dead and burning. Tun, the entirety of the upper floor is now fully ablaze. You may give it another round, like another few seconds before the second floor is going to come tumbling down with all of the weapons and everything else that were kept up there.
Nice. And I believe, so I know the 2 knights are alive, and I believe 1 warrior is still alive, yeah?
Yep, 1 guy. Who does not look healthy. Go ahead.
Tun is gonna look at him, and then is going to see him as insignificant and not worthy of a javelin throw. So, although his friends have died, I'm going to leave him to live.
Tun's the man who gotta leave one to spread the rumors. The tail.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I'm going to throw a javelin at the knight that hit Melvin.
Okay. The one that's currently dazed. Alright, go ahead. You have advantage, so you have a +2 to hit. On top of everything else. So it's +4 total, basically.
Alright. That means 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28... 30.
Let me check my notes. Let me if that hits. I mean, yeah, that hits. Fucking hell.
I love how I'm rolling so high to hit, but I'm only doing like a d6 of damage at a time.
Welcome to early 3.5.
Yeah, right. That's 1 damage.
Is this your javelin going into him, just to make sure?
Yeah, it's a javelin.
As the javelin goes flying up with impressive landing, slamming into the armor, though the thick, heavy plate is too much for the javelin to pierce through. The tip of the javelin seems to almost kind of crack and split as the wood slams in, and mostly impacts, causing a dent in the armor and pushing the figure up to stumble 5 feet back. No.
The knight realizes if that was something better than a javelin, things could have gone a whole lot worse.
They are still dazed and completely not seeing anything. Oh, +4 damage. You're right, actually. No, you are.
Shit.
You're right. As the thing splinters through, the javelin kind of seems to crack through, and you watch as it seems to fully pierce the armor, killing, almost seeming to kill the gentleman as he drops back, blood spurting out of the where the blood chunks of wood are kind of sticking out.
Well, to that, I say is that I'm not moving. So we're gonna do that again.
The other one's got his back towards you too. As Gygax
he wants
whispers
to
that.
eat that one. Okay, Gygax. I loosened him up for you. Alright, I'll hit the other guy then. 31.
To hit the other knight?
Yeah.
That hits.
Okay. So 5 on the dice plus the other 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 9 damage.
As you watch as the second javelin goes careening into the slightly orange and white looking one that had tried to shoot at Dutes earlier, missing by wide, they kind of seem to kind of look about. As the javelin comes slamming into their back, they feeling the impact on their armor as it seems to push their arm forward. You hear a nice loud pop as they seem to give a loud shriek out in pain. Their right arm going completely dead that was holding the bow as the bow kind of drops to the ground. An arrow still in the other hand, and the creature seems to turn to you, Tun Tun, and just glare.
Oh, I'm looking at him. Eyes are locked. We're locking in, boys.
As you ready another one, that ends your turn. All right. The warrior is going to roll what I'm going to call common sense to see if he's going to run or not.
I've let him live. He should know that.
The warrior, kind of looking about, bleeding, half their arm completely burnt to a crisp and charred, barely hanging on, seems to kind of weigh their options and slowly seems to crawl towards the other side or the back of the platform as you hear these sounds of something kind of cracking for a moment, and then the sounds of something impacting outside, the little bit of vibration from the ground.
I hope he didn't die from fall damage, but if he did, I understand.
Guess you'll have to find out. As that ends his turn, Melvin. There's one knight left. He's looking down towards Tun Tun and Gygax. He's got one arm completely dead. As you look at him, down at him, though his armor, though slightly dented, looks to be for the most part all right. His right arm slightly also, or his other arm having a slug slightly stuck in it still.
I know that Gygax would like to eat them, so I will just hold a spell ready and give them the ability to try.
Okay. Alright. Dutes gets seeing his concentration, keeps the music kind of going in the background, continuing to inspire you all as they do so. The music kind of echoing throughout the city. The sounds of Cryptic Cabal kind of being, or the name Cryptic Cabal being slipped into the song to spread more of the name as you hear people starting to kind of sing along still as it echoes throughout the city. Although the sounds of the crackling fire to to Gygax and Tun Tun still in the armory is a little bit loud at this point, kind of drowning out a lot of the outside music. You only manage to hear Dutes as he continues performing. Back up to the top. The knight is going to kind of seeing what's going on, is going to take the 1 point of damage and fall over the railing as he does so, dropping onto the ground where the magic circle is as he seems to start rubbing his blood on it fervently. That ends his turn. Gygax. This knight is now on the ground, about 5 feet in front of you, rubbing furiously his blood on this like encrypted circle on the ground, and looks to be looking at you with fear in his eyes.
It ain't gonna help. How much does he weigh?
Looking at him, you'd guesstimate probably 200 pounds.
So when I pseudopod adhesive crush attempt to attack him, it's actually gonna pull him towards me because I weigh 500 pounds.
All right. It's a grapple check with you getting a +2 on it. Then I guess.
So pseudopod attack first.
Yep.
Is what I first need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
you slowly pull this poor gentleman towards your mouth, or at least hope to try to do so. You know, Grim Legacy wondered who the mimic was in Sarazeki's area that almost killed them. I think I found who it might be. He just let him go out of mercy at that point. He's too old at that point. 13, that does not hit their AC as you manage to go wide of them. Not the creature seeming to kind of like slightly being soaked in blood at this point from trying to rub their blood onto this symbol. The pseudopod misses. You're not moving, so you can still try it again if you'd like.
nope. Now I'm just gonna jump and bite at him.
How you said you weigh 500 pounds? Now, when you say jump, do you mean like jump on? Yeah. Do you mean like jump on him? All right. So.
Not really. Maybe jumping on his arm, but I'm trying to bite his head.
Oh, okay. I got you now. Okay. I was making sure. I thought you were going to pull a ton.
Oh.
That's a net 1. Please roll to confirm. No. Okay.
Ooh.
I
can't eat this guy.
Yeah. As you go to lick at him, his blood starts to make your tongue tingle, Gygax, and that immediate realization and reaction pulls your tongue kind of away, thinking that the magical effects would happen again once more. As you feel that slight numbing begin to come over you. All right.
I yell at him. I'm still gonna eat you.
He yells aggressively. You see the panic in his eyes. He doesn't even hide it at this point. As he rubs the circle more with more blood, trying to get it to do something. Alright. Those warriors are dead. Tun. Gygax is now, like, trying to eat this poor guy, who's on the ground, trying to rub the, rub blood onto this, large painted circle on the ground. What do you want to do?
I think, listen... I know you want to eat this guy, however, he's gonna get another turn in before you go, and he might get that spell off, so I'm gonna have to finish him off here and now. God, yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll eat a dead body.
Yeah, it works. What do I have to roll just to step on him?
Well, he's prone, so he can't really resist, Are you now when you say
plus pounds, just crush?
Oh, so you're just gonna lay on top of him? I'll give him a reflex save to see if he can beat out. Let's say you versus him on a reflex save, see who's faster. Although he's prone, so he does get a minus to that. Oh no.
16.
Let me see what we.
You get a +2 because it is an attack.
Yeah, it does. And actually, technically, you get a +4 because against him. On top of that, because of him being prone.
Okay, so that's 20 then.
Oh no. Alright, well, there goes. That's in total minus 2 for him. That's an 18. Yeah, as you kind of walk over, avoiding the head and kind of, as you start to kind of stand over him, you see the quick nervous rubbing and going, no, and then as you just kind of quickly let your legs out from underneath you. There's a sudden splat, and as the head seems to keep saying no, as it's like panicking and still talking, looking at Gygax, with fear in its eyes of what's about to happen. It takes a few moments before the head stops animating and moving, as the body kind of fully, or as the head fully realizes what's left, taking you out of semi-initiative. The building's still on fire, and I will say the stones are starting to catch flame as well, as you realize that's a magic fire. It'll burn everything.
Mm-hmm.
But Gygax, I assume, are you going to be just lopping in, or taking down the head at that point?
Yep, just eat the head.
Yeah, as you kind of lean down, grabbing it up off the ground, and bite and swallowing it, kind of tossing it in the air and then swallowing it whole in one gulp. You two left in this area. Melvin, as you watch all this, what are you doing in the background? Are you going to be going in to help out, or are you just going to kind of watch this them as they're in the building as it's kind of starting to burn and the bricks are starting to catch fire?
I would like to go ahead and fly up out and try to go around to the door.
Okay. Yeah, as you kind of fly around to one of the side doors of the armory, you see the large, heavy logs kind of holding it being kind of barred to hold the door shut from the outside. You guess one of these bars probably weighs 120, maybe 130 pounds.
I see. I will try to grab it from the bottom and pull real fast.
How much? What's your push pull? What's your carry capacity actually?
My current or my
Yeah, like max. So like what you got?
Oh, never mind. I was reading the wrong tab. It would only be 82 pounds.
82. So I think if you go to heavy, that's 160 pounds. You can pick it up if you put all your gear, like your backpack, on the ground. I imagine. So yeah. As you kind of set your pack down and pull the thing through, it takes you a bit of struggling, and you definitely feel as if you pulled a hernia. If beholders could have a hernia, as the bar pull slides out. It finally collapses to the ground as you watch one of the guards kind of seeing you from the street pulls out a bow, and as they're about to knock an arrow, a shadow seems to come by and the person seems to disappear, leaving nothing but a bow and the arrow knocked as it drops to the ground. But yeah, as you do so, the doors open up. Tuntun and Gygax, you see as you look about the room, the doors seem to kind of open up immediately from the back entrance, away from the main street. As you see Melvin kind of slightly breathing heavy, looking a little red, but the doors are open as you look out the back.
When I make eye contact with Tuntun, I suddenly start acting as though I'm like flexing my tentacles.
you know, Tuntun will give like good job, man. Good job. Yeah, that must have been really tough for you.
I flex 2 pseudopods back. Good job, brother.
Tuntun's bulging muscles from him having like a 20 in strength.
Yeah, as you kind of start to head out, you see dudes kind of jumping, climbing down slowly along the side of the roof. It looks at you lot and kind of looks at the large chest full of gold, jewels, weapons on racks with runes on it. Looks at Tuntun, then looks back at dude, and then looks back at the armory.
Gygax is typing in the chat.
Search. Yeah, Gygax, go ahead and give me a search check. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Money, weapons that are unmelted.
Okay. So magic. Okay.
I guess I'll assist.
Alright.
If that is just taking the help action, because I know
yes.
Gygax is better at seeing things than I am.
Yep, so it's just going to be a +4 to whatever he gets. So that's a 20 in total. Yeah, you see a great axe, some robes, a wand, like about 3 swords, a couple, 4 sets of armor that seem to be slightly glowing. There seems to be chests full of little glowing metals that seem to be slightly arcane by the looks of them from the distance. You count in total, roughly in one chest somewhere off to the other side, at least 2,000 platinum sticking out, and you count maybe 35 more chests kind of put throughout here, or throughout the armory. there's a smorgasbord of magic items and stuff throughout this. That's just what you get with that search, as you realize you're kind of looking over it quickly, trying to prioritize what you can grab.
I'm gonna grab the great axe, 4 long swords, 3 robes, the 1 wand, and 2,000 platinum.
Okay.
And just stick it in my mouth, not digest it, but just parry it out.
Okay. Dude starts running in and starts kind of dragging some of the bodies out that he can, as he starts to remove some stuff from them. And then starts kind of grabbing a few items off of some tables in the center of the room where you lot were fighting as he shoves them into chests and such. Just some what looks to be documents and a couple of what looks to be mugs of stuff. Melvin, did you want to rush in there, or are you just going to kind of watch as this goes on?
Yeah, just watch.
Okay.
Since I helped with the vision, is it possible for me to grab just one random chest in my mouth and just head on out?
Give me a D100.
Yes, random chest time. What could it be? What could there be within it? Okay, let's see. Alright. 51.
51. Okay.
That's how many legs I have.
Nice.
Alright. Okay. Give me a second. You find a chest, as you grab a chest kind of pulling it with you, not even opening it, but feeling the heavy weight behind it, and being in the same size as the one Gygax kind of pulled that you saw coins in. You kind of grab it and toss it onto your back, alongside, there seems to be something in there kind of rattling or making noise, but as you don't have much time to really investigate, putting it on your back, you see as Ultimus kind of comes around one of the corners of one of the buildings and goes, oh, God. Wait, do any of you have my boots?
Tun looks at his back and wonders if they're still there.
As you look, you see them still tied to your back.
Tun will move, horizontally to hopefully give a better view of the boots, still probably tied down by rope.
Thank you. As she goes and grabs them, kind of puts them on, untying the rope and pocket, kind of tying it around her belt loop, and she goes, well, Neff found something big. I don't know if y'all want to help with it, but the entire mercenary company's going that way. There's something big in the vault. Go figure. The other group is kind of dealing with, well, I kind of set some explosives up and had them kind of setting them up, and they may have malfunctioned. It's a long story. Half the city might be kind of ready, ticking time bomb, and we may not have time to really deal with much. But I was wondering if you'd like to, save Neff, or...
Cause what, Neff, it went to the main castle, yeah?
Yeah, that's where he said the, Dutes, that's where Dutes would have explained that he would have went, yeah.
Tun looks for the castle and starts heading on over.
Alright, as you turn, Dutes kind of follows after, Gygax and Melvin, as you two kind of follow with. You lot start heading up in that direction, and that is where we're gonna end session, as you see the castle explode in a fiery ball in the distance. We thank you all for watching, we hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time.